back?
We have to do the whole thing again.
Are we back? Are we back? Yeah. Okay. So we're back. It's been months. It's been a long time since we've recorded.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we released. But we're
First
taking
episode season 3 right here.
We're starting 2025 2 months late, but we're taking it very seriously now.
It's already March.
It's March. It's March. And today we have a guest. You'll see her on the Tourco stage at Second City. You'll see her all over Toronto in general, doing improv, doing sketch. Do you do stand-up?
No, I did it once. I did.
And it went so well.
It wasn't bad, but it was one of those like themed shows. So it was like a 15-minute set on Catholicism, which is like too much for your first time.
Well,
Yeah.
So I'll say no. I don't do stand-up.
So, improviser,
that.
sketch artist, and religious stand-up comedian, Ghazal Ghiami.
Just a niche, yeah.
Ghazal Ghiami, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being our first guest of season 3.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
I asked already, but the audio cut out. But since you just kind of stumbled upon our podcast a couple days ago because we invited you onto it.
Yes. Well, I mean, false. I've been a fan this entire
totally,
time.
Totally. Yeah.
Just playing it cool.
Yeah.
Do you always notice a spike in listenership before you have a guest on?
Yeah, because they listen to all the episodes. Yeah, that's a whole marketing approach. Yeah, we just go one by one, each comedian in the city.
And it's really easy to identify because it's like 0, 0, 0, 0, 1.
Exactly. So yeah, if you had to, just for the sake of it all, if you had to summarize or give us like, what are we going to do on this podcast today?
We are going to write a 10-minute short film. Is that wrong? Is that pretty succinct? We're gonna riff a little bit. We're gonna have fun along the way.
Yeah. Good. She got as long as you get that across.
We're gonna reminisce about some movies we liked.
Yeah, that's really half the show.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We're gonna break apart a genre. Yeah.
We might finally learn who Chris Nolan is
Yeah.
this season.
Well,
Still confusing.
You guys, okay, I mean, jokes aside though, the Odyssey, you guys hear about that?
Oh yeah. I'm sure
It's
that'll
gonna
be
be
great.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
They keep adding people to it, which
Yeah,
is so
every day,
bizarre
yeah.
because I've seen like production stills from it. Like they are filming it, but they keep announcing really big gets for the cast.
Yeah, it's almost like they're casting as they're filming, which is it's cool. And as at that level, you can do that because he's like, we're not going to shoot this half of the film till next month, so I can hire that character later. Which is but
Seems stressful.
yeah. Fuck. Well, I mean, I feel like right now to him, it's like he can do it blindfolded. He's done so many like epic films, you know.
Or he like lines up a shot and he's like,
You know,
how
what
long
good in
for
this?
Chris Hemsworth to get
yeah. They're all just waiting on set for the contract negotiation. But yeah, that looks pretty dope. You guys watch anything new recently?
Jeez.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of mandatory like water cooler TV watching.
Yeah.
That I'm enjoying, but
That's such-
like there's Severance, there's White Lotus.
That's water cooler TV, like shit that's like on. Is that what you mean?
Everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
So like you're on a TTC bus and like
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah,
get in
yeah.
a conversation about Severance.
Yeah. I don't want to be like left out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't necessarily know how much I'm enjoying it, but I'm keeping up to date.
You're just more as like a to-do list.
Yeah.
I finished an episode.
Ugh, I have to go home and watch TV.
God. And
so
then
I can make better small talk.
Legit. That's funny. Yeah, societal fucking pressure, eh?
But I will say I am excited that Righteous Gemstones is back.
I watched the first few episodes of the first season.
Mhm.
It's good, but I want to catch up. I heard it's like it gets better and better and better, and it's one of the better Danny McBride shows.
I'm a Danny McBride apologist. He's never made a bad show.
No, I mean, what would be his flop? I think all his shows were hits. No, Eastbound and Down.
Did they
Vice
end up-
Principals?
Yes.
Did they do the Halloween remake? Did they remake a Halloween? Him and like
I think
David
you're
Gordon
right.
Green in
I
it?
think you're right.
I wonder how that was.
He has a pretty cool way of working. Like he talks about
Or
how
Jody Hill,
him
I
and his
think.
like all his like co-creators or writers just like got up and moved to the city where they make all these shows, like
Mhm.
Vice Principals, and there's only 3, right? Eastbound, Down, Vice Principals.
I think those are
Righteous
the big
Gemstones.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has just style to him, which he's like, yeah. I remember like I didn't like him that much until like he was in Superbad. He was in like a Tropic Thunder, but I didn't really like him until I saw This Is the End.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
so like I even then I remember in the trailer and the first when you introduce him, I'm like, oh, what a piece of shit. Like I hated that character. But by the end of the film, I'm like, this guy's so fucking funny. Like he's just such a shit disturber.
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's pretty cool too that he just plays pieces of shit for the most part. And
He has a one
apparently
character type, yeah.
He has like the nicest dude apparently.
good. Yeah, well,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
nice.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what we know
Everybody
from
loves
podcasts and interviews.
Yeah, all of our parasocial relationships tell us that Danny McBride
Such a good guy.
fucking rules.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, when you talk to him, dude, I guess I'm doing that. When you listen to his podcast or him on podcasts, he just sounds like such an average Joe. Like he just lives life like such a normal human being, and then goes and acts, and then he goes back to his like life. It's not very like stardom,
right?
Which is interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. Speaking of great acting and great comedians, tell us a little bit about your journey. Like, how did you get on the side stage at Second City? Can you remind me the name of the freaking stage there?
Theater 73.
Theater 73. I've not been there for so long.
Nick never says it right. He says it 87. He goes 94. He goes 92. He just picks a number with theater and he just says it. It's the funniest shit.
How did we get there?
Or your journey in general.
I started doing comedy by writing for the satirical newspaper of the engineering department at my university.
Okay.
Like a Harvard Lampoon style thing?
Yes. Yeah. It was the closest thing they had to comedy there. I mean, that's not true. They had an improv team, which I tried out for and didn't get on.
This is high school or university?
University.
And it's an engineering school. Like, where is this?
This was Queens.
Okay.
And I was not an engineer. But
the paper was for the engineering department? Okay.
Yeah.
Any of those people that were on the team still doing improv now?
No, most of them ended up becoming engineers.
That's what you get, guys. That's what you get.
Yeah. They peaked in university. You got to start slow. Late blooming, baby. Late blooming.
But through that, I started working at the Beaverton, and then I was an editor there for a couple of years. And then I moved to Toronto, and then I had some friends start taking improv classes, and I just felt so much. I was like such a comedy fan since high school, and it was like something that I idolized for so long that I wanted to do. And it wasn't until I saw like people do it so casually without
people that weren't that funny. You're like, I'm funnier than them
for sure. And it was just like kind of rage filled to be like, well, why isn't this decision like crippling your entire life? And that's the whole reason I started doing comedy. Yeah. And then I took a couple of classes.
So wait, what was your path? Because right now you're like full-time comedy. Can I say that? Yeah, right?
Yes, yeah.
What was your path before the classes? What were you going to do?
Oh boy. I don't know. Like I worked a bunch of random Joe jobs. I was working.
So there was no like path before. It's not like I was studying, I was going to be a doctor, and then this happened. It was just like I was going to just float through the universe. Yes. And then I found this thing and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
It's like, I always say like, some people it's earlier, but you're on a highway, and some people find their exit sooner. Like, they're like, oh, I'm going to be a teacher when they're like 14 years old, and then they become that and they go for that. And then some people just stay on the highway, and then you miss exits. You see one exit, and I'm sure there was some shiny stuff on the way. Like I remember like, I could be a fucking athlete. I could be this. I could be that. But those exits don't work for you. So go back on the highway and you keep driving until you find your exit.
Yeah. I mean, during the pandemic, because I couldn't find a job, I panicked and I went to baking school for 2 years. And then I started working in a bakery for another 2 years. And I remember my dad was like, nothing's stopping you from working in a bakery. You just don't have to go to school for it. But I was very determined. I'm like, no, I think this is my dream.
Wait, what did your dad say?
My dad's like, you can work in a bakery. I just don't think you should go to school. I don't
like,
think
don't do baking school. Just
work in a bakery. See if you like it.
Your dad was basically saying, anyone can become a baker.
Essentially.
Why are you paying for it?
For sure. Well, his whole point, he did have a good point. He's like, maybe try it out. Try it out before you commit
right, that's a really
all the
good
time
way,
and money to it.
That is actually a good point. Like try it before you think. Yeah. The school part is really just when you're not 100% sure and you're like, that's your way of trying it out.
Yeah.
Instead of because like if you go to a bakery, now it's like real stakes.
Yeah.
So baking school is like training wheels. Yeah. But so you did that because you thought of one day you'd own a bakery, one day you'd become like a chef? Like,
I was just desperate to find work that I liked, that I didn't despise. I was doing like a little bit of social media stuff before that, which I really disliked.
What's that? You're an influencer?
No, just kidding. No. Okay, you said no so quickly, as though you cannot imagine that in any universe.
Yeah, like, I laughed too hard.
Of course not. Who are you influencing? Essentially, I've always wanted to do comedy. I just did not know a path towards it, or what element of it I liked the most, whether that was like writing or performing. Yeah.
Can I say something, by the way, for this podcast? We should start writing prompts after this section, because I'm like, our story today should have been about something about this. I'm just like an average Joe with a dreamer. But anyways, we'll figure that out.
We're always
still working about figuring the podcast out.
Education, we're all students of life. first and foremost students of life.
This podcast is brought to you by the Toronto School District Board. Go waste your time. Is it recording, by the way?
No. This is all just for me. Yes, it's recording.
Okay. Sure. All right.
But it is interesting. Like I went to university for psychology before falling into that stuff. And like, we are not exposed to comedy being viable as a thing, especially in Canada. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny that a lot of people go down these other roads that you're supposed to go down, the other exits that you're supposed to go down. And you're like, this one looks a little sketchy, but I bet you there's a nice gas station in there for me to fill my soul.
Wow, nice. I like that. There's this weird, like I was talking to my nephews and nieces about this, and they're all like, they range. Like my oldest niece is like 21 now, I think, and then my youngest nephew is like 10. So we're all hanging out and talking about like, future careers and how they look at it, and they're all saying practical answers. Like I was like, if you could do any job for your whole like career, what would you do? And like, I don't know, lawyer maybe, or like this. And I'm like, what the you're like 10, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, why are you thinking like that? Like at 10 I was like, I want to be a Blue Jays first baseman.
I want to be a gorilla. Like,
yeah, well, okay, sure, that's not okay. Yeah, gorilla, yeah, for sure, why not? Yeah, but my thing was like, why aren't you dreaming bigger? And then they were like, oh, because of money. Like they literally, like, in not as many words, they were basically like, because one of my nephews was like, I want to be a chef, because he actually cooks at the age of 10, and we all like encourage it, and he's so good at it, and he likes baking and shit and cooking, like, all that stuff. So I was like, why don't you pursue that? And he's like, well, money and this. And then I started doing the math, and I'm like, so if you go to like, say, medical school, right? If you want to be a doctor, right? You started like 18, like going to like, you go to college for university for all that. By the time you don't really make money and you're in debt by the time you're 30, no? Isn't that kind of accurate to say that? You're looking at maybe longer.
Well, I think if you go into a normal, a quote unquote normal, traditional job, maybe yes, but like for film, like
No, I'm talking about doctor.
Doctor. Oh, you're not making money for a while.
Yeah, you're like 30, 31, 32, and then you're like
in residency, and then
you're paying all this shit. So you're in like $500,000 debt, and then you start making money, and then you do make good money for sure, and you have like this safe.
It's just going back to the hole, right?
Exactly, and then you can have a nice house by the time you're 40 or whatever. You know what I mean? Why? So you're allowing it, society, like we're allowing it that like, hey, it's okay to not be wealthy or even be out of debt till you're like mid 30s. So that's okay if you choose medicine. If you choose comic for some reason, or actor or director or a chef in his case, it's like, it's not okay for you to be 30 and now finally breaking through, or 35 so it's literally not, like in my head, I was, because when I started rationalizing it, I'm like, it's weird. In my head, also when I was a kid, it's like, I would choose doctor, I'm gonna be rich by the time I'm 25 or something. Like that's how you're almost like thinking about it. Yeah. But it's really not that different. It's like they both have long paths. The only difference is this one doesn't have the university structure. Like if you're a comic, you're not going to school for 8 years. You're maybe doing open mics for 8 years, or like touring or small jobs or whatever. But why the fuck is that not okay? But this other thing is okay. You know what I mean?
The world needs workers, Doesn't need people slacking off making jokes. Yeah. Speaking about slacking off, though, maybe it's time to.
Oh, right, we have a whole podcast.
Start writing.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Well,
what do we do now?
Usually? Well, now we're gonna go to the next section, which is called the prompt.
The prompt.
We do the whole thing again.
No.
That genuine panic.
Yeah, I saw you go, what? These guys are fucking psychos. We're like perfectionists that keep doing the sections over and over. It's not even a podcast at this point. It's just scripted. So you didn't laugh hard when I said this one part, and I need you to be.
Can you just give me a couple laughs that I can throw underneath the track?
We want people to think we're funny, okay? All right.
Okay, so Ghazal made some prompts for us before we got there. Adil and I have no idea what's in there. And
whoa, the smell. Oh my God, the marker smell, guys. Oh, that hit.
Oh, yeah, that nice. I'm gonna write something real weird now.
All right.
Felt that between my lobes.
Okay, I picked something. These are better papers.
Yeah, it's Post-it notes.
Brought to you by Post-it. Give me a quick little.
This episode is brought to you by Post-it notes. Stick to your ideas.
Ooh.
Off the dome.
This podcast is brought to you by Post-it notes. Just steal them from your office.
That's really good. Nice. All right. Today's prompt. It is. Ooh, that's good. Worst day ever.
Ooh.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Worst day ever.
Was there a prompt in here that you were like, fuck, I hope he doesn't pick that one?
Oh, Let me. I'm trying to think of the. I kept on giggling to myself because I wanted to write boring or big ass. I'm happy we got this one.
All right.
No, I'm happy with that one.
Ever.
Yeah.
No, I love that one.
Yeah.
Worst day ever. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we got to start with the obvious.
Ever. Now I'm just trying to think of the worst day ever for me.
Do you guys have a worst day ever?
Personally, no. I don't think I've reached it yet.
Whoa, that's scary.
I know.
I would like to think
but
I've
it's
already
coming.
had
No,
it.
I feel like it's looming.
Oh, it's like soon?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is it. This podcast, dude, you're fucked. Oh man, that's so scary. No, I'm trying to be optimistic. Like, oh, I had it. Like we probably had it when we were like 13 and awkward. You know what I mean? Like a really shitty day, and I was just like as a kid.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it's like there's so many ideas trying to get through the door. I feel like and so much.
I'm doing the greatest hits of like all the like bad moments, bad like memories, like one thing I don't know why it comes to mind. It's not the worst day ever, but part of it was like I was already young and clumsy and looked at as like the dumbass of the family. And then I remember one time I was like supposed to like help my brother close up his store and like go home, and I accidentally, while waiting and being bored as a kid, I went in this car, listened to music, and then I came out and I left the keys inside. And I just remember as like, you know, when you're as a kid and you do something wrong, and then you're like, I am like, everyone's gonna think I'm the fucking biggest idiot ever. I was like 10 years old. It was, that comes to mind. Locking keys in a car.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
That makes me think of when I was younger, my grandfather came to visit us, and he doesn't speak any English, and he was taking care of me after school, and I would have been around maybe 6 or 7, and I remember like latchkey kid style, like making a snack for myself, an apple and a knife like this, and I cut the knife through the apple and it went into my hand, and my hand started bleeding, and my grandpa was praying, and I remember I was freaking out, I was crying, and he didn't stop praying.
Yeah.
Like he finished his prayer and then came to help me. But during the time where I went to go ask him for help and him not helping me, I went
he's in his prayer.
Yes. I went and I called 911 because I used to do that a lot as a kid.
Like,
wait, that's a side story. You just call 911 a lot? My TV's not working.
No, well, like when they first teach you about 911 in school, they're like, here's an easy to remember number, and if you call it, somebody will answer the phone.
Yeah, right.
And so I did it a couple of times out of novelty. So nothing ever wrong. And then I would get scared and not answer whoever picked up the phone. And then after he bandaged my hand up, I went to swimming practice. And then when I came home, there was just 4 cop cars outside of our house responding to a call.
Oh, because you called.
I called.
And you forgot about it. He forgot about it.
Yeah.
He fixed he bandaged
Well,
your
I didn't
hand.
tell him. I didn't tell anyone. And I think at that point, I was like the 3rd time I called 911. And my parents were like, please, please.
And your grandpa being someone who doesn't speak English too. And then that must have been so terrifying for him to be like,
yeah.
Whoa. Oh. That sounds like a pretty bad, I guess.
I guess.
But
I was so young that it's like, it's more like, oh, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Instead of, when I think of worst day ever, I was thinking of like in a movie where just somebody is trying their best and just it gets worse and worse and worse. And any action you take is the wrong action.
Yes.
It's a bit of like, have you seen Die Hard? You know how like from the beginning of the film to the end of the film, he's like a wreck. Like he's gone through it all. He's in a wife beater, burnt up, blood, and like no shoes, where it like starts with him being like a cop, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like that trajectory in a film where it's like by the first act to the last act, the person's just gone through hell.
Yeah. There's this movie, it's a French film, like Paris French, called Grégoire Moulin versus Mankind. And this guy, just a loner. I feel like I've talked about it before. It's like sitting over there because I'm trying to get Katie to watch it. But he's this like loner guy that just has the same life or same day over and over again. It's a sequence of just repetitive, boring shit. And then he sees this ballet teacher across the street, and she is at this coffee shop that he's at. And then she goes to the bathroom, and he stages this big thing like, I'm going to take her wallet and then call her and tell her I found it. And the whole movie is him just trying to get her wallet back to her. And like literally everything goes wrong. Like it's just like, you know, it's the this happens, and then because of that, this happens, because of that, this happens, and like everything connects so well, but it gets so fucking far away from the original thing.
Yeah.
That was great.
Something small gets spun out bigger
Exactly.
and bigger.
And then you
bigger.
just watch that ball get bigger as it rolls down the hill.
I find that so satisfying.
It is.
I love like, I also love like Greek tragedy. I love somebody fighting their hardest and ultimately it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
What movie comes to mind when you say that?
Probably like Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Ooh.
Or like.
Wait, I mean, I love that movie, but because I guess, because like they're kind of powerless to the kid almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like A Serious Man.
Oh, that's great.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, that's
something getting spun out.
And also
out of somebody's control, yeah.
And he's just such like, it's not going well for him. Like, that usually the bad outcome's gonna come out of it, kind of thing. Yeah, that's a good one. Have you seen A Serious Man? Coen Brothers?
I have, like, years and years ago. I have zero memories of it.
Trying to think what, like, what film comes to mind?
Well,
Like
I'm just thinking, like, even Wet Hot American Summer, at the end, like, Coop is on the trajectory to get the girl and like win all the things, but at the end she's like, nah, I just like the hot guy. I just want to fuck around with the hot guy for a while. So it's like all for naught, you know? Like he becomes this new person in order to develop this relationship with someone, and then she's just like, yeah, you're great, but like this guy's fucking hot. And I just want to do him. So
is it kind of like, I mean, I mentioned earlier for Daddy McBride, but Pineapple Express, where it starts with like two potheads like meeting up, then he goes to do a delivery, sees a murder, and then the next 24 hours are him just like trying to get out of this situation because he's just a fucking subpoena guy, and now he's in this whole like mix up with like a murder and drug ring. So it's kind of like an average Joe kind of slipping into the wrong cracks and then having just the worst 24 hours.
Yeah.
There was like date night or
game night even.
Like,
date night's great. Game night also.
That whole genre of like it's one night where you were gathered under normal circumstances. Yeah.
And one thing goes wrong and then it just leads to the dam breaks and then it's like that's good.
I still don't know if this is the worst day of my life because I still owe a story. And I may have told it before on this back when we were talking about PA.
Yeah, I remember this now. Oh my God, actually, all this. Sorry, you saying that? I'm like, the worst day of my life was probably early on filmmaking for sure. There's probably one set day that was just a shit show that we never finished the fucking film. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of really bad things happen on film sets, but like most of it recently, thankfully, it's just like the mercy of the universe causing things. It wasn't actually caused by me, but this story, I was driving a box truck, like a cube truck, and we had to put these giant 20-foot I-beams through the pass door, like because they weren't big, they were too big to fit in the back, so they were going through into the windshield and just resting on the dash all the way through the back of the box truck. And I'm like, cool, it fits. Close the door, get in the front, try to look at my mirror, and you need mirrors, you need the side mirrors in a cube truck because you'd have no blind spot or rear view. The I-beams are blocking it, so I'm like, fuck, I got to adjust them. So I get out and I'm like, I can't open the back, and I lift the back up and I hear pop. And I'm like, oh shit. And I go to the front and the lever just popped the windscreen. The whole windshield is just completely shattered. So I'm like, fuck. I call my production manager, and I was actually at the place where we stored gear, rented the vans, like everything kind of happened there. And he's like, look, man, just don't, like, it's fine. Just get rid of the I-beam. Don't put the I-beam in the locker. Don't let Steve see you. Just like get out of there. So I like parked between this fence and this flatbed truck and like nosed in so he wouldn't see the windshield. Like with unfathomable strength, like strength that I did not possess. I had help getting them in. I just like lifted the I-beams up and just like threw them in the locker, got back in the truck, tried to get out of there quickly because people were mulling around. I didn't check my short side when I was backing out, and I popped a hole in the side of the box truck on the flatbed truck. So I'm like, okay, fuck. And I like dug myself out of that, reversed out of there, showed up with this guy, and just the windshield is fucking completely shattered. The side of the cube truck has a huge hole in it. And the guy's like, what the fuck did you do? And I was so scared. Like, I didn't know.
Of course,
I don't even.
You're like, my career is done.
That's it. And like, I didn't really factor in, like, that's what insurance is for. And these things are just like, whatever. And the guys at the truck place just made fun of me for the rest of my PA career.
Man, sometimes you'll get really messages from PAs, and it's like on the other side of it, when you're like leading a production, like there's like the two sides. You can be scared, or you're also frustrated when like there's one PA. I remember we finished a job, and we're all like wrapping up, and again like it's been a 2-day shoot, this heavy fucking monster we filmed, and like as we're wrapping up, we're like, we're done, we did this, great. We get a picture text from a text from a PA, and it's like, what went wrong. And basically what had happened was he went to the gas station to fill a truck up, filled it up, forgot to take the thing out, started driving, and he dragged the whole fucking whatever
the
that
pump,
is,
the whole pump,
ripped off
the whole pump, not just the hose.
No, the whole basically like the plate of like where it says premium and regular and all that shit ripped off, and he sent that picture, and we're like, we don't even know what like 1 + 1. We're like, what the fuck is gonna happen? Are we done? Like, are they gonna sue us for millions? But anyway, and the PA was like shaking on the phone, like, and I felt bad for him, but also it was like, dude, what the fuck?
How do you that?
He was just tired, no sleep, and he just drove off, and it's like,
but you still had to like put the like anyway. Okay.
I think he did it. I don't know either. To be honest, I wasn't there, but like. We were, and first, like, I'm sure he's scared that I'm also, as like the producer and the production company, I'm like, oh man, we're fucked. Like, I think I'm gonna go to jail for this. Like, your brain's like, what's gonna happen? And then nothing. Literally, we gave insurance information, but gas stations being gas stations, they probably have their own shit where they're like, this was probably nothing to them, like the amount of coverage they have and shit.
Yeah.
But man, for the moment being, and then that became the joke. That picture became like a joke, where like. Remember that shoot?
Yeah, it's so funny, man. Yeah, the stupid.
Everything else goes back to film sets.
It's true. We gotta
write
branch out.
Yeah.
But okay. I do find like in general, most of my like true bad days are by my own hands. It's like just me being in a self-loathing mood or whatever. It's not like these big, major, catastrophic events.
External.
There's nothing cinematic. It's just like
for sure. It's like I've lost weeks of my life staying indoors.
yeah, or like just getting too activated by a video game, which I guess it's coming from a place of privilege, but most of my bad days are self-induced and all on the inside.
Do you think your worst day is coming?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, life.
You guys are fucked.
We have a different mentality altogether.
I hate that.
I'm like, there's an anvil that's going to drop on my head at all times.
I hate that.
Even the best of lives end in like tragedy. Life is unequivocal tragedy.
Yeah. Right? Okay, shut up, guys. You've been blowing me out. Look at the sun outside. It's actually sunny today.
It's still cold.
You were so happy to be like, yeah, I've already lived my worst day.
Yeah, and you guys.
I was a child. It's done.
I was like 9. I'm good.
My family was kind of mean to me.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Okay, great.
Well, it's good. I'll provide levity. You know what it is? You guys like all the bad. I'll be like, but then also this happened.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think we should go to the next part because it's gonna be a longer part.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, we're moving.
This is the blue sky part. All right. Do you know what this part is? Oh, buddy.
It's asking for a friend.
Is it the name of your old? Is it the old?
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll say
Blue
it.
Sky.
Oh, she does. And she knows it was her old name.
That's
my god.
Cool.
We bring it up a lot,
so
don't we?
sane.
In the podcast.
For the 1.5 episode I listened to, yeah.
We used to be called Blue Sky. We used to be called Blue Sky. Like just reminiscing about our old name.
Why was it called Blue Sky?
Because this stage of the writing process is such a big part of it. Blue skying?
Mm-mm.
So blue skying is like, I mean, this is my explanation. You may have a better one, but it's like when you're writing a script or an idea is formulating, it's the part of the process where you're just throwing anything at the wall. So it's like, what if this, or what if this, or what if this? Like you're not allowing
budget.
You're not allowing
physics.
budget to restrain you, nothing to restrain you except for your imagination, and blue sky, because then it's like there's no limit.
It's a great name. If only more people knew what that meant.
That was part of it. But
then the app came out.
There's an app called Blue Sky, and then
no rewrite sounds cooler. We just
no
forget
rewrites
to use it.
You can tell it's about a writing podcast at least, Yeah. Who knows? We'll maybe have a different name next season. Who knows?
That's fun. Every season a new name.
Yeah,
exactly. Great for SEO.
Who needs branding?
Yeah.
We're trying to prove branding wrong. I feel like there is a show that does that. No, like every season's its own thing. Yeah, I don't know.
American Horror Story.
Do they have a title? Like, because Fargo does that too. They have a
semicolon and then.
Oh, and then it's
the
circus thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I watched the rest of the Fargo since we've talked last. I mean, I'm caught up to the John Hamm season.
Oh, I'm in the season.
Oh,
yeah. So tell me this. I'm thinking of skipping. I'm on the Chris Rock season right now.
You're thinking about leaving that one?
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Okay, I'll check it out then.
I can't spoil it, but that is very relevant to the conversation.
Oh, worst day ever?
Did you see?
No,
I seen the first episode.
Not the TV show.
The season concludes in a very much
worst day.
It's like worst day, but then you get to the other side and.
Well, they
What was
do a
it
good
for?
job. They do a good job of like external things kind of like it's very
It's
like
great.
philosophical, this show. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen season 2? That's my favorite season.
Season 2
with Ted
was,
Danson's in it, and
is it the one with the guy that eats the ice cream on the toilet?
I don't remember
He
that.
just sits in the bathroom and he's like,
I think maybe it's with
the girl with the hand dryers, nothing worked.
I don't remember that.
But
Either.
the UFO was in that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I think
it's
the other
Jesse
one's-
Plemons
Okay,
and Kristen Dunst are in it.
Yeah,
Kieran Culkin's in it for one episode. It's so great.
sick.
Yeah.
Pre-Oscar.
And okay, love him. But in that show, in Real Pain and in interviews, it's the same guy.
Right.
I mean, that's my only one issue. But
Is
it's
he
so
acting?
fun. Yeah. We're like, yeah.
So for Worst Day Ever, for a short film about Worst Day Ever, something that did stick out in our little conversation before was the 911 operator, like that whole trope of like a one-sided conversation where there's all this stuff happening and this person's just on the phone. You know, what's that movie? Phone Booth? Is it Colin Farrell?
Yeah. Phone booth. Yeah, it's literally him on the phone. Have you seen
That
that
stuck
movie?
out to me.
It's like Kiefer Sutherland's on the other line. It's just like this guy who's kind of blackmailing Colin Farrell, and the whole film is literally in a phone booth, and
Oh, cool.
he's telling him all these things that he has to do or say, or what's gonna happen to his girlfriend, or his like wife's gonna find out about his girlfriend, like this whole thing, and it's really, it was a fucking, for what it is, like in a phone booth, it's so intense, that film.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, Worst Day Ever. I mean, we can go as like low key as high school, like it's a bad hair day on a picture day, and how that gets worse and worse and worse, and it can make it more like childlike.
Yeah.
You know, it could be that, or it could be someone who's like, who keeps like just missing that anvil,
Yeah.
but like by the end of the film dies, kind of thing. You know,
Oh,
like it
yeah.
go that dark. So it's like,
Right.
it's like, what direction do we want? Like, you know,
Yeah.
it could totally be like a diary of a wimpy kid kind of vibe, you know, or not.
The high school thing's funny because like maybe not a bad hair day, but like a pimple that they try to fix, but like what
I
they
woke up today being like, really on the podcast day.
well, imagine like you picked at it, but it like grew and festered and like became
Oh,
Like-
Yeah.
substance.
the substance. It's
Yeah.
a pimple. It's a
Thank you
pimple.
for the picture day.
I don't like body gore, but I don't like watching body gore, but I could probably
I'll write
it.
the fuck out of this. I don't like body gore much, but Substance I liked a lot. Did you
Mm.
watch it?
No, I can't. I just
Ah.
it sounds too
So good though.
too icky.
Yeah, it is, but it's worth. Like I don't mind if it's a key, if it's worth it. Like the
Mm.
story was just really good. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think? Too much?
No. I like gore, and I like especially practical effects, and I thought that was really cool. I don't know. The story felt weird to me, and I saw it with like 5 other women, and we left and we're like, huh.
Did it feel trying too much to be a story about like women?
Like ultimately, I don't really, I think, agree with her point about aging in, I don't know. And I guess you could say like even the ways that they filmed Demi Moore were to emphasize like, but like Demi Moore is fucking hot. So it's like, it's a weird, like,
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. I had problems with the problem that they were trying to illuminate, or like to bring up ageism and all
Right.
this stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And like the guy from her past who like hits on her, I'm like, in what world? She's still attractive. And like, I don't know. And I know it's like hyper stylized and you're not supposed to
I guess you
necessarily
mean like
focus
she's
on
not
that.
really.
But like,
yeah. Like if they got someone who's like an attractive 60-year-old to play like, oh, look
like,
at aging.
like in every
Woof.
woman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think those are just different problems, I
Yeah.
guess.
But just devil's advocate, not
Yeah.
even having another point that's maybe like, I'm not saying right or wrong, but it's interesting because it's like you also like the message did get out from that film, and it became this whole like revelation and stuff. And it's almost like the director had to choose like, if she goes to every woman, if she goes too real,
Mhm.
then will it reach the masses?
Yeah.
Because then it's like not a Hollywood film anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like that fine. I was thinking about that too. Where it's like this fine, like Killing of a Sacred Deer, like it's such a good movie, but if you don't put Colin Farrell in it, I don't know if I end up watching it because it's like, you know,
Right.
you need that Hollywoodness to usher in the message. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I also think I feel like a lot of my opinion of movies, like if I don't go into a movie fresh or like just interest, like I already was walking in with like a lot of people.
Right.
I hate the word discourse, but it's like in
Yeah.
the same way that like the Barbie movie was a lot of fun, but it's like I think it got weighed down by like a lot of like people throwing on like bigger moral lessons. And for me,
This
that's
is-
what
yeah.
happened to The Substance, where it's like it is a very funny it's a very cool like body horror movie
with a message. But
and I appreciated that, but then I think it gets spun out into something.
Well, once it becomes the
more
poster
exhausting,
child.
yeah. But in that it's not the movie's fault, but I came in with like too much baggage.
Right. It's the movie marketing team's fault for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many times I've been lucky where there's certain films where I have the same thing where I watch after people have seen it and I'm like, it's good. I don't know why you guys are tripping over this.
Right.
But then there's films like I remember watching Anora with no idea and just watching it at TIFF and being like, holy fuck. But I think because now I'm seeing so many people be like, I don't get the hype of Anora. Like, why is it getting so many awards? And I remember when I watched it, I was like, I hope this wins an award. But maybe if I watched it now after the award season, I would have been like, really? This, because the discourse or like the same with Parasite. I accidentally watched Parasite in theaters because the movie I went to watch was sold out. So I was like, I guess I'll watch this Korean film that people keep talking about. Like the buzz was starting, but I didn't know what it was about. And I left it being like, that might be one of the best films I've seen.
Yeah, I saw it before the hype.
But if I saw it after the hype, I might have been like, it's a cool movie. It's a movie.
But to bring it back to Anora, that could be like a worst day ever.
That is a worst day, actually.
Like, that's one of those.
To me, Anora is A24. It's not A24, but like it's an A24 hangover. Yeah. Like if Hangover was made by A24, that's what it feels like. Like the guy's missing and they're trying to figure out where he went. It's a comedy, but it's just very artsy.
Yeah.
Like that final sort of while they're chasing him at the end or whatever, like that night would be like the worst night ever.
That was a great,
and that dude who's like in charge of the family's affairs or
whatever.
Oh my
God.
Like,
he would be the main character in the worst day ever.
Just to kind of throw some other balls in here that we could play with, but I often say that the worst day ever is the first of every month because it's rent day, you know?
Oh, that's good.
So I do think that that's the worst day of every month is the first. So we could do something with that.
Scrambling to come up with rent.
Yeah. And then only to have to do it again the next day.
Like you're just like $20 short from rent and you have the final, and that's like the final $20.
Yeah.
Like it starts with the guy like going all over his apartment and like under his in his like video game like this thing is he has like $100. Like he stores money around the house and he puts it all together for his rent. It's like he's like, fuck, I'm $20 short. And then it's him trying to figure out that final $20.
Yeah.
That is like the worst day.
Yeah.
He's like he thinks of like odd jobs or like whatever or like
this friend owes me.
I know that's really good.
I know this person owes me. I'm gonna go to them and be like, what's $20 to them?
But then you go to that friend and then someone owes them money.
And then you happen to be in the worst circumstance. I love this genre movie because it's always like a weird misunderstanding or like wrong place, wrong time.
Like Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Have you seen that? Yes. No, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not gonna explain the whole film. Well, get ready. What happens is it's kind of like that. But yeah, I get you. Yeah. Where it's like, and usually, or Snatch. Have you seen Snatch? No. It's like when there's multiple stories and they're like, and the miscommunication is because one guy's going for something and this person's going for something else.
Yeah.
And their stories converge and they think they're both like bad guys, but actually they're both like just looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, multiple storylines.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
You should watch Snatch. Oh my God. You'd love that.
Oh yeah.
It's, Guy Ritchie, the guy who made, so it's one of his like, that's the movie that like broke him out into like mainstream.
Cool.
It's really good. It's like the new film he made, Gentleman. No, it takes from that, I feel.
Right, yeah. All his things are pretty much the same. Like, what you going to do? Yeah, you fucking go.
Yeah.
But it's like really cool and
he's the one who started that whole fucking. Have you seen that SNL sketch where it's like, "Don't go running round Torero"? It's like no sense is being made, and it's like this. They make a fake trailer in SNL, and it's like Bill Hader in them, and it's like one critic even said, was that English? It's just really like, but it's winning all these awards, this film, but no one can understand a word they're saying. I like that. I like this idea of rent, and then he goes to a friend, and again, there's circumstances on the way there, maybe even right. And then on top, and then maybe like on the way there, his like ex-partner shows up with their kid being like, it's your day to take care of him, and he's like, fuck. Now he's taking the kid
burdened.
Now you have this person you gotta take, like Big Daddy all of a sudden, Adam Sandler, where he's like, take care of him. And then he goes to his friend's house and he's like, you owe me money. And then that friend can be like, well, I don't know, it was due to it was today. And he's like, I said first of the month. And he's like, well, I lent someone else or whatever. Or he's like, I can help you out by doing this. I have to sell this weed. If I can sell it, then I'll give you that cash because this guy's broke too. And it's like, fuck, okay. He's like, well, will you help me sell the weed? And he's like, come on, man. And he's like, has to now go, and it doesn't have to be weed, but then he has to go and help him sell this thing. And then when he gets there,
and then
there's like a shootout happening, or not a
or
shootout,
like
but
it's like, oh, okay, I have the money to buy the weed, but we just got to hit an ATM. They go to an ATM, and then someone robs them at the ATM.
Yeah.
You know, and like.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you know that one episode of Atlanta where? Do you know like it's?
Sorry, already I'm like I've seen all of it. It's so good.
it's
the barber.
It's in season 1 where they're he's trying to sell his phone because he needs some. He's also cash strapped.
Don Glover's trying to sell it.
Yeah, and then Darius is like, oh, I can make you. He's like, I can make more money than this. And then they go on another series of adventures, and it ends with him like buying some goats. And he's like, in a couple of months, you'll be rich. And he's like, I need money now. Yeah.
There's another one with the barber. Have you seen that one where it's honestly this too, where so Paperboy goes to get a haircut. It's season 2, I think. He goes to get a haircut, and the barber starts, and then he gets a call, and basically he needs his haircut. So now he goes on this barber's side adventures, like throughout the whole, and just so he can get a fucking haircut. Right. He goes there, goes to his baby mama's house. He goes to somewhere else. Like it's just following him along, and then finally at the end he gets a fresh cut.
I love that.
That's a great one too.
Following somebody on their errands.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one quick thing. Just one quick thing. And then I promise we can get your $20. Yeah.
Exactly. It'd be kind of funny. I don't know why I picture a scene where it's like, say he goes to let's name him Darius, the friend who owes him money. And he goes to his house and he's like, dude, I gave this guy weed. He owes me money. We just go collect. He goes and he's like, sure. He goes with him and it's at a high school. He's like, the guy you gave weed to is at a high school? Yeah, well, it's like, he's going to be out soon. Though. He's like, what the fuck, man?
No, he's out at 3:00. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
And then like they're waiting and the dialogue and it's like, this is not the right high school. It's like, just keep piling on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there's something fun there.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a hero's journey. Yeah. It's Wizard of Oz, but it's like trying to get my $20 or whatever money he needs for rent.
Yeah. $20 sounds fun because it's so negligible and so like,
and that is when it's the worst day where it's
and
like,
then
dude,
it's just, dude, I just need $20
yeah.
at least. Like,
and it's like there's some sadness to that because like that, dude, there are times where $20 is like make or break.
Yeah. And it could be like a B story too, where he's like, well, fuck it, I'll sell my Garbage Pail Kids card on Facebook Marketplace for $20 and I'll get it. And then he could have a B story where there is like a Facebook Marketplace discourse going on. Is it still available? Yes, I can come right now.
Yeah.
Constantly going back to trying to sell other things.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having to insert the kid in the middle of the day.
Son, yeah.
And then the kid
son or nephew. It could be like his sister's kid or it could be his kid. Like we could whatever we want.
Or he's like a big brother, like a not a foster.
Big brother
like,
program, yeah.
So he has to be a shining example to the kid, but ends up taking him to high school to buy weed sell weed to whatever. That could give us a lot of fodder to go off of.
And we're trying to keep it within 10 pages. So
10 pages or less.
Do we like the idea of starting with him scrounging together with the cash he does have? So it's like a pile he keeps adding to. Like it's one of those montage scenes where it's like, found this or whatever.
It could be a really fun, like upbeat dancing thing. He's going around his house and he's like pulling money from the thing. And like we just keep cutting to the stacks and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's like, 1, 2. And it's like he's just got life down to a fucking dial.
First of the month, like that's his. It starts with the calendar.
On the calendar. Yeah.
Pay rent.
He's like fucked up before, but like it's a new year. He has a system.
Maybe like if there's one thing he loves in life is like having responsibilities and adhering to them. So like rent day is actually amazing for him. And he's like, I'm going to pay my rent and I'm going to pay it on time. And that's an accomplishment.
And then record scratch. Okay. So then he has like, let's call it $20 short. Then does he automatically think about his friend? Like he's like, oh, he owes me money, or how do we go about it?
Yeah, because like,
do we do a montage again of like phone calls where it's like, hey, remember that? Okay, oh, never mind. Oh, I remember you owed me. Okay, and then it's like he thinks it's the one friend that lives down the street, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Am I thinking too hard about it, or like why would so many people owe him $20, or like does he have like a ledger or something that he goes through and he's like 6 months ago he loaned this guy $20? I don't know.
Do we instead do it through conversation where it's like as he's like panicking, that's when knock on the door and it's his sister or wife or whoever, and it's like he's dropping his kid and he's like, can I borrow $20? And she's like, no, I'm not gonna, I bail you out every month or whatever. And then she's like, why don't you like ask your friend? And then he's like, oh, actually someone owes you money. Or is he too proud where she goes, do you need money? And he's like, no, you know what? I know where to get it. And she's like, we're going to get $20 from today. And he's like, oh, someone owes me money. Like, do it through dialogue instead of like,
yeah, that's actually really interesting because you could see the pride in him. Like he could be like, look, can I borrow $20? And the look that she gives him, just like and he's like, you know what? Wait. No, I got it. You know?
Or again, vice versa, where she's like, you look stressed. And he's like, Nothing. And she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, and tells her like the $20 short. And then she takes money out without him asking. And he's like, no. Listen, I'm not going to take money from you. And he,
And like you, like Ren and Stimpy close up of his eye twitching, just like
looking at the 20. Yeah.
Oh God. All I want to do is take that.
But I think that adds some character thing where it's like, he
Prideful.
isn't like, because if he's like a piece of shit or someone who's just down, then it's easy for him to get the $20. But the reason it's harder for him to get it is because he wants to do it the right way, where it's like, you owe me money, dude. That's why I'm not gonna I'm not begging for anything that's not mine. This is actually my money. So give me it back.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Yep.
Is there anything worth introducing the landlord earlier?
That's good too.
Is he the one who discovers himself that he's down $20, or somebody else is like, no, you're still short?
Oh, that's good too. Yeah.
Because is the opening conversation with the landlord like, yep. Do they have a conversation about all the other tenants not paying on time or something like that? And he's like, luckily, I'm your best tenant and I'm going to pay you on time. And then he discovers that, and it's a big secret to.
In lieu of saving time, but also making an interesting scene, is it a 3-way conversation where like as a
all at the door,
as the kid's being dropped off, the landlord comes.
Yeah.
And he's like, sorry, 1 second. Gives it. And then he's talking to the like, I'm going to take him here today and we're going to have a good video game day. And the landlord's just like, you're short. He goes, excuse me? So it's like all happening in real time where he's talking to his ex and the landlord's counting the money.
Yeah, because he can be like really making a point of like, no, things are different. Yeah. I'm on top of stuff.
To the ex, we're going to, exactly.
Yeah, like the place is clean. Yeah. I've changed. Look at this. You like this? A child can be here.
Yeah, exactly. And then the
I
guy
pay
goes,
my rent on time. Don't need you to do that anymore. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And then he's like, you're short. And then he goes, what?
You're short $20.
Of course, that voice. And then she's like all of a sudden and that's where he feels like a failure because he just gave a whole speech to her about like, I'm changed now. And then she's like, he's like, no. I can get his $20. I can get $20. And he's like, well, it has to be by 12. I'm not doing the voice. I'm bad at voice. I'm just bad at it. Not because I would love to do the voice. Mine will turn to a different ethnicity. But we should each voice the landlord at different times with different ethnicities.
Right.
He's like,
I was just impersonating my Greek friend.
Yeah, you're the Greek friend. I'll be the Indian.
But is it okay? The person who is it going to be a sister or is it going to be a?
Well, now I think it has to be an ex because it makes it more like
more responsibility,
more ego too. It's like I'm not the same guy you left. Maybe he wants to get back with her too, like a little bit of that in there,
I love the 3-way conversation on the door.
It could be it starts with landlord
active.
While they're talking, knock on the door. She shows up as he's counting the money. He gives a speech, and then from off screen, he's like, "You're short."
Because or if it. I'm not sure mechanically yet, but if it's all at the door and they're kind of next to each other and the sister's witnessing this stuff and he's got or the ex is witnessing stuff, he has to navigate those people, gets the kid, sis or ex, you go. This is going to be an incest movie now. He's like, you get out of here. And then landlord, wait right here. And
don't you hate it when your sister's your ex?
They go inside and then the next scene is him like sneaking out the back window with his kid, like, with the landlord just waiting on the front step, so he's escaping the house to go try and get that $20. It could be something.
And the ex is left.
The ex, he sends the ex out of there, and he's like, "Landlord, wait here. I'll be right back."
Oh,
and
that's funny.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to get super dumb at the end, like he could be gone for hours, and then when the landlord gets back, he's like, "It's been 5 minutes. Where have you been?"
Or it's like
that's
he leaves them both there. He's like, "You guys hang on, make yourself a home," and then he leaves with the kid. And then he does everything, comes back, and they're like, "We're together now." The ex and the landlord.
Yeah. We're gonna move in. We're gonna move into.
We're moving to your place.
Yeah.
But the time crunch is interesting too, because if the landlord's like, "Well, I need it by 4 p.m. today" or whatever, then you also know then, he has to. It's like he has to kind of make it happen.
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot of fun. Something satisfying about Worst Day Ever. It's like the conclusion of just like, oh, it didn't really matter. Like either the landlord could have miscounted or
that's funny, yeah.
Or something that kind of voids the whole catastrophe of like running around town to get this $20.
Yeah.
Or he gets it so easily in the last moment. Somebody like tips him for something. Or
we could do a foreshadowing thing, like, and this may be a really bad idea, but it's like the whole like he talks to his son throughout the whole film about like, some kind of analogy about like being like prepared for things and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. And then at the end, the speech he's been giving him this whole time, he's like, "Oh wait," and he looks in his shoe and he has like $20 there because he's been telling his kid like, "You should always have backup plans." But he himself does that too, and he forgot that he had a backup 20, or what, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's like,
or does
Kid give him 20?
Do you admit it to the kid? Because the kid's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? He's like, I don't tell you. I don't want to tell you. And then the kid's like, oh, why didn't you just ask? Can you just give me $20?
But then the pride thing, because he said no to the ex, so I don't want him to take the kid's $20. That's worse. Or he's a piece of shit.
But the kid's
or the
like,
easy answer is he goes, hey, kid, give me your money.
No, it's the kid offering it and the dad being so touched because he's trying to protect the kid.
Yeah.
But the kid's like, I got your back, daddy. Yeah. And then he's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm a self-made
you call me
man.
a loser, kid? He's a maniac.
You think it's really touching.
Yeah.
He loses his mind.
Think I'm
a child is giving me
I'm gonna
money.
hit you harder than I did last time. It's like, whoa, shit. This movie got weird.
Like, what a reveal for like the second last line of the short.
I'm gonna hit you harder than last time. What did he do last time?
Jesus.
Last time's gonna seem like a cakewalk. Whoa.
Or like this whole like thing he keeps hammering is like people don't give you handouts. Where like multiple times in this movie, people are like,
Offering.
I can help you out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's it's like the asking for help thing where it's like it's okay to ask for help, kind of. That's the whole point of it, maybe. And then the kid's like, I got you.
Yeah, you learn something from the child.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
I mean, I also like one thing we do a lot, which I don't mind, is like I think we'll find the ending as we get to it. But I like this whole thing of like maybe it was all like, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Satisfyingly inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah, I feel like there's something there like that we're gonna find. Like it's gonna be a fun. Yeah, we'll get something for sure. Okay, so we like our first few pages or page or two of like a three-way conversation at the door, inside, wherever. We can figure that out as we write it.
Mm-hmm.
Then kid's there now. That's his first obstacle. That's why it should be like landlord, then kid, doorway or not, whatever it is. Then he goes to the friend who owes him money. The friend who owes him money says, I don't have it, but I can get it to you if, you know, this once I sell this weed. And there's maybe
I just got to go to the racetrack. Yeah.
Or like he's like, okay, somebody owes it to me. He goes to the high school.
Yeah.
He gets $10 off this kid, and he's like, I can make this into a 20 easy.
And
they hit up a
Yeah,
race.
No, what if it's not even a racer? What if the kid's like, you want, I could give you 10 or I can give you 50, and then you maybe, I don't know if it's the main character or the friend who just like, let's hear this, and then maybe it's like a race of kids. It's like literally a sprint. There's like he's like the fastest kid in school, so the odds are great against him. So it's like they watch kids racing.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, and our main character feels this feels really weird. Like I'm betting on kids right now. And then he watches the race, and something fucked up happens, like someone breaks their ankle or some shit goes wrong or whatever. And the kid's like, well, now it's nothing. And then now they're back to square one.
Yeah.
So they have to find another way of getting the $20 or whatever. But there's something funny.
I love
there.
the idea of the kid race.
Yeah, right? It's like
but you want to do it? You think it's gonna be like dog fighting or something? It's like fucking potato sack race.
Yeah. It's like the most. And then
you want to buy in?
yeah. And then the Darius character's like, dude, this sounds like a pretty fucking good thing. I've seen the kid he's talking about. He's jacked. He's huge. He's like, that kid will win.
They've held him back a couple of grades. Like it's actually
and
not
then
fair.
when you see the kid, he has like a stash and like a lineup and everything.
Huge,
he's like
bigger than them.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're a kid.
It's a sure thing.
But then the kid like stumbles during the race and then they lose the money. Yeah, and then it's about like how. So at that point, so I think that's just naturally happening. So I like all this Darius, then high school race. Then what's the next step?
Then do we get to like, does the race get broken up by the cops and shit? You know, like, is it
I was gonna
actually
be like,
way more?
They lose the money because the guy loses. But yeah, what if it's even more?
or they lose the money and like the guy's like yelling at the kids and then the police approach them as if they're bullying the kids or whatever, and then they get sent on this other direction. Like, does it need to be like a legal thing, or is it just more people in the someone related to high school? Like, is it someone's dad or something that comes off because those kids are going to lose the money?
What if the kid? So the race starts and their kid's about to win. Police breaks it up, right? Which is hilarious. And then they're like, run, and they run, and the kid who was like betting the money for them, like the hustling kid, he tries to run away, but they kind of like chase him down, and they're like, what the fuck, like you said, and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, like I can't help with anything. My $10 are gone too, or he has a 10, and he's like, dude, I need the money, whatever. And then what if the kid's like, all right, listen, my dad has a stash at home, so they go and rob this kid's dad, or the kid's like, I have weed I can sell. Like, do they not? Does this kid basically? What I like about this is also like people keep getting added to the journey.
Yeah,
it's his son, then it's Darius, then it's this high school kid, then the high school kid takes him somewhere else, and then maybe that's where the fidelity is.
It could be the dad and the kid the whole time, and then kind of trading off the third character, maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of a huge
I'm thinking Wizard of
gang.
Oz, where it's like, Scarecrow, then Tin Man and Lion, and then it's like all of them at the end. Or it could be, trade off.
I like the cops breaking it up for this kid to be like, my dad has a stash. His dad is one of the cops. Like, I would love for it to like full circle. You brought like your dad's a cop. Like, yeah.
And does it happen? Does it become like a Pulp Fiction?
He's like,
thing?
I know. I'm going to tip him off about the race. Like, you fucking jacket. This whole time.
Okay, I'm trying to write all this shit down.
Okay, weird. Also, add on to this. What if they bring him to the house and then the dad's there and all this, and then basically the dad's like, maybe the cop dad catches them and he's like, "What do you do in my house?" and blah blah blah. And he's like, he just needed money, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to fucking pay rent, and your kid got me involved in this shit." And the dad's like, I was trying to think, what's the dad turns out to be a con man too, where he's like, all right, if you give me $10.
Well, that's it. The dad's going to have to do that. But I was thinking, like, is it the Marcellus Wallace and Bruce Willis thing in Pulp Fiction where they go to the pawn shop because they're fighting, and then they're like, okay, these guys are dead. We're going to bring him into the basement and do some fucked up shit to them. Is the cop like
a gimp?
A gimp.
Sorry, does
he have a gimp? I don't know if I wanted to get into
dark. You're thinking it gets dark, yeah.
The cop's like, okay, you know what we do to people who fucking rob from cops?
Yeah.
We offer them a better deal.
Yeah. We have a timeshare.
I actually am writing a puppet show I'd like to produce. If you could just give me some notes on the script.
Yeah, it's like the most...
We establish up top, like he's an artist. He is a director or something.
And then he helps them with his art.
Like, why is he scrounging?
Yeah. That's good. He is Australian, and then he helps the cop dad because the cop dad's like, "You're going to jail," and he's like, "Wait, what's this?" And then he notices like something that's like a painting the cop has been working on, and he's like, if you add fuchsia to this, it'll bring it together. And he goes, "Fuchsia? Oh my god, why didn't I think of fuchsia? Oh my god, why did I think of that?"
I tell you what,
here's $20 for your help.
Here's $5. Yeah. Here's $5 toward your cause.
That could be funny if he uses his art at the end of it in the most stupidest way to get his $20. Of course, fuchsia.
That's very funny. I like the cop turn it because the cop it's like it's gonna paint this idea that it might be a really horrific thing that happens. Like, come out into my basement, like get down, and it's like, how do you feel about the lighting of this?
Well, that's the thing. We can kind of make him whatever. He could be a photographer, artist. Could he be like a plumber, or you know what I mean? Like, what if he just uses his handy? Because as the cop's about to do his whole speech about like, I'm gonna take you to the thing, and you're gonna go to jail, whatever.
Plumbers make good money.
They keep hearing a drip. He keeps fair.
Yeah,
but he keeps hearing something or something he sees, and he's like, I can help you with your problem, and he earns his $20 from the cop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Plumber is funny because it could be a fake out of like, you think it's water torture, but he's like, no, I just have like
it's a drip he hears. He's like, you could fix that.
Waterboarding is just an attempt to clog or like fix pipes with
just
with wood. So scrounging, he's an artist. He's something that doesn't
make
have a lucrative
money.
thing.
Landlord comes.
Kid gets dropped off. Three-way conversation. Then he goes to his pal's place to try and collect money. The friend doesn't have it. They go to a high school. The kids don't have enough money.
$10 or I can double it. He has to double it.
Or you can come back here and
watch the race.
Get in on this. Watch the kid race. They bet on the one kid. The kid loses the money. The cops break it up. Kid says, "Dad has stash." They rob the dad. Dad is one of the cops. His kid tipped them off about the race. And then, do we end it with the cop thing, or is there one more like sort of?
I think we have to start ending it here somewhere.
And then does he get the $20 from the cop, and then maybe his son's like, "Hey, I wouldn't mind some ice cream," and then he buys him.
Aww.
He uses it for ice cream. And in the end,
anytime he brings up the kid, you go, "Oh." The kid gives him 20.
And it's just like, let me, okay,
what's important?
I'm just going to call.
And he gets evicted because of the fucking ice cream.
Or he's like, I just got to call the landlord and find out. And he calls him up, and like, you hear it ringing, and then it just hard cuts to the kid eating ice cream. And then it cuts wide, and the landlord and the dad are eating ice cream too. They're all just having it together.
Just fucking bail out at the end.
Yeah,
just
so happy.
The landlord is like, "This is nice. You do have to move out."
Yeah.
Still
This is really
eviction.
nice. Some guys are here. They're gonna rough you up on the way out. That's funny.
Who wins? I'm just gonna write
How
that.
about? What do you think? Do you think we're at a good place where we can start writing now,
We probably could.
and then we'll come up with it, and then y'all got to stick around for the radio drama to see how this film ends? That's one way to do it.
We
What do
could
you
do
think?
that. Any other like top line things come to mind that we could throw in there? I think it's just, one thing leads to another. Ping pong balls bouncing off one another in chaotic directions.
What do you think, G?
I like it.
Oh,
All right. Sick.
How long was this section?
This was 32 minutes.
Whoa. I don't know why I asked that, what that reaction was. Really, I'm just. All right, cool. Let's go to write it then.
Let's do it. And now, $20 short. Interior studio apartment, day. A studio full of half-finished canvases. Huge, colorful paintings litter the corners. Easels and paints everywhere. Glen Giddy, 35, is in a frenzy. He digs through it all, looking for the cash he's put away for today. Rent day. He pulls out a 50 from his sock drawer, another 20 from his wallet. He dumps a meager handful of change out of a can labeled art sales and adds it all to the pile. He places a final wrinkled up $5 and some change into an overstuffed envelope labeled rent. Cut to exterior porch. Later. Glen's landlord, Juan, 52, stands there smoking a cigarette. You got rent, kid? Do I need to come back?
Oh no, yeah, I am ready. I have your rent right here.
As he hands him the money, a woman, Marcy, 33, walks up with a child holding her hand. Billy, 9.
Daddy!
Hey, buddy.
Marcy smiles at the loving interaction, but can't help but peek past Glen to see if his apartment is tidy.
Not sure if you got my message, but it's your day today.
Juan counts the money loudly, making it harder for them to speak. 50, 100,
Yeah, I remember.
First of the month. Remember?
400, 500.
Yeah, I know.
Marcy is clearly unhappy with the cleanliness of Glen's house.
You sure I could drop him back later tonight if you need time to clean up?
800, 820. Why would you put a 20 in with the hundreds? That doesn't make sense.
I cleaned up. I'm ready for our day.
He looks at Billy and smiles.
I even got a new couch.
Yay, no more washes!
Well, jury's still out on that one. It's new as in it's new to this apartment.
1,400. Oh, God, so much change.
Money is money, Juan.
Juan finishes counting the change. You're short, kid.
He's the appropriate height.
No, not him. Juan waves the cash. You're $20 short on rent, Glen. Awkward beat, Marcy sighs.
Here.
She reaches into her purse, but Glen stops her.
No, I don't need your money, Marcy. It's probably still on the table.
He looks at Juan. Okay, I count again. 10, 20, 50.
It's fine. Just take it and pay me back.
I'm not gonna. Just give me 1 sec, Juan.
Glen turns to go outside, but Juan stops him. No. I have a Tinder date coming over to watch the John Wick movies. She never seen them. Can you believe that?
What's John Wick?
It's a series of movies about dog murderers.
Oh.
She thinks they're action movies, but I've been telling her there's much more nuance to them. Animal deaths are very visceral. Anyway, Glen, that gives you about 8 hours and maybe some funny business to get me the rest. And if not, Juan holds up one hand like a gun and the other like a karate chop. I'll go gun kata on your ass. He speaks to Billy, which is a style of martial arts that involves guns.
Cool! What's funny business?
Never mind. Don't show Billy John Wick.
I won't.
She holds up a 20. It takes all of Glen's strength not to snatch it from her hand.
Sure you don't want this?
Positive.
Marcy leaves. Glen looks down at Billy.
Ready for an adventure?
Yay!
Cut to exterior porch of a different house. Glen knocks on the door. After a couple minutes, a stoner-looking Darius, 35, opens the door.
Hey, what up, G Money? How's it hanging?
Hey, Darius. They're hanging fine. Remember that $20 you owe me?
Darius gets dead serious.
What $20, bro?
The $20 you owe me for.
I'm just joshing, friend. Of course I have your $20. You should have seen the look on your face. But how good is that roller coaster of emotions, right? From bad to good, sad to happy. Canada's Wonderland, bitch. Something to think about.
A beat.
So what's up, dude?
Glen looks confused.
The money, Darius. The $20. Just trying to have a nice day with my kid.
Darius sees Billy.
Whoa, what's up, little G? Is Billy? Oh, yeah, you are. Billy Club. Where'd you find this kid, man? He's like a little mini you. Like from Austin Powers? Mini me, but you?
Yeah, Darius, he's my son.
Shit. Wait. Does that mean I'm an uncle now?
Darius, $20, please.
Jeez, relax, man. You'll get it. I don't have it on me right now.
I've been more than gracious.
I'm good for it. We just have to pick it up from a friend who's
Darius looks around suspiciously.
holding on to it for me.
Great, we can go together.
Yeah, sure. Just we just have to wait till after 3:30.
Why are you being so secretive? I'm not asking for...
All right, fine. Okay. Let's hit the road. Let me just get my moccasins.
Cut 2, exterior high school parking lot later. Darius and Billy admire his moccasins as they wait around for Darius's friend.
Premium deer skin. Tight, right? They can make shoes out of animals? Is that why those men killed John Wick's dog?
No, can we focus? Why are we here? Is your friend a teacher?
Not like in the traditional sense, but like, I guess I have learned a lot from him.
The bell rings. Kids file out of the building. Darius springs to his feet and makes sure his moccasins look good.
Tate! Hey, Tate! It's me, Darius, from Sometimes After School.
Glenn looks around horrified. A young Tate, 16, walks over. He almost looks embarrassed. Darius goes in for a handshake, but Tate doesn't reciprocate.
What do you want, Darius? There's that tough love. What'd I tell you, Glenn? This guy's a riot.
Darius, is a kid holding your money?
He's like my Billy.
How?
You know, we have like a will they, won't they.
That's not what me and Billy have.
Tate takes control of the situation.
Guys, hurry up. I have somewhere I gotta pee.
Darius says you have his $20.
Off Tate's blank expression.
For the weed? You said I could pay you back when I felt like it. So funny, man, this guy.
Well, you better feel like it because we're in a hurry. Or should I ask one of your teachers to help me?
Tate starts taking out cash from his pocket.
I only have a 10.
Fucking Tate!
Billy's eyes widen.
Whoa, you said a bad word, dude.
No, I meant to say frick.
Let me say it once and I won't tell Mom.
Glenn rubs his eyes and shrugs.
Fuck.
Tate looks over his shoulder at the schoolyard.
You know, I'll give you the 10 or we could double it. We're listening.
No, we're not.
Tate reaches over to give the $10 bill. Then Glenn stares at it and sighs.
How could we double it?
Cut 2, exterior fenced off track later. A kid stands with his arms crossed blocking the entrance.
Password?
Hit him with old ball sack.
Ball sack, ball sack, ball sack, ball sack!
Billy!
That'll count for all 4 of you. Come on in, gentlemen.
Past the fence, we see a group of terrified freshmen in gym gear with numbers attached to their shirts.
What is this?
The freshman derby. Each senior picks a freshman to race.
Glenn spots a high schooler taking cash from people.
And you guys bet on it?
Exactly. Ruben right there is a sure thing.
How do you know?
Because I know it on the low that Ruben has Asperger's. Whoa, he eats burgers from his ass and that makes him faster?
A loud buzzer rings as the racers get ready. One of the seniors takes center stage. All right, dweebs, on your mark, get set.
Oh no, the police!
Sirens flood the area and all the kids start screaming and dispersing.
Fuck, we gotta get out of here.
He turns, but Darius stops him.
Dude, look.
Glenn follows Darius's pointing finger and sees Ruben, sprinting like a bull in a perfect straight line, faster than anything they've ever seen.
Should have bet 50.
If I had 50, I wouldn't need to be here.
Ruben bulldozes through a hedge and disappears. An officer takes the bullhorn.
Everyone stay where you are. This is Officer Johnson. Running will only make this worse.
Darius and Glenn spot Tate running away. Glenn quickly picks up Billy, and the three of them follow Tate's path. Cut 2, exterior alleyway behind the high school, moments later. Darius and Glenn have Tate pinned to the wall.
Fuck, I mean, frick. I don't want to rough up a kid, but fuck. Fuck, I mean, frick. The race was a bust, and you still owe Darius 20, which means you owe me 20.
That's not on me, okay? You saw Ruben. Couldn't get him to stop.
Darius looks at his phone.
Oh, dude, your landlord just rated Parabellum on Letterboxd D. Not a lot of time left.
How do you know my landlord? What the hell is happening right now?
Gosh, everybody calm down, okay? Let's go to my dad's. He has a stash. Says it's for a rainy day. But we could take it and split it 50-50.
Wow, you are really a piece of...
Hey, you're the 30-year-old loser that doesn't have $20.
My dad's a struggling painter.
Darius corrects him.
Struggling artist.
Wait, who said I was struggling?
Mom always says you're struggling.
Well, why don't you paint a $20 bill, Picasso?
Darius lights up.
Whoa, dude. Yes. No, wait, no. Paint $100.
Jesus.
Tate laughs.
Gosh. So we stealing some cash, fellas?
Cut to interior house later. The three of them stand in front of a pulled-out drawer. Stacks of crisp, pristine $20 bills lie inside.
What did you say your dad did again?
Pan over to the wall above the drawer. A photo of the decorated cop we saw earlier reads Officer Johnson. The camera pans again. Directly beside the photo, Officer Johnson enters. Tate, what the fuck are y'all doing with my crisp unmarked 20s?
Your dad is the cop that busted the race?
Oh my God, Dad. How many times have I told you? Stay out of my shit. You're so embarrassing.
Officer, don't be mad at your son. This is all my fault. My friend owes me $20 and your son owes my friend $20 and...
Everyone needs to shut up right now. You're telling me that two grown men broke into my home after the biggest bust of my life just to steal $20? Everyone nods, ashamed. Well, I know how you can all make $20 right now. Off his wry, almost threatening smile. Cut to interior kitchen later. Glen and Billy are finishing up the last bit of dishes. Darius ties up a garbage bag and takes it outside. The officer and Tate are watching John Wick on an iPad at the kitchen table. It's called gun kata because of the guns and the use of, he arches his eyebrow.
Karate?
Exactly. Spending time with your son really is priceless. Glen tosses his dish rag and sighs.
All right, we're done. You see, Billy? I'm more than just a struggling artist.
You're a housekeeper too.
Glen is about to refute, but he takes what he can get. The officer looks around, happy with the cleanliness. Great work. He pulls out a 20 from his wallet. He looks over at Tate and hands it to him. Good job on your chores, son. Tate gives the 20 to Darius.
For the Nintendo Wii game.
Darius takes the 20.
Oh, I thought it was for the weed.
Darius puts it back in his pocket, then turns to Glen and takes it back out.
For the moccasins.
Glen takes the $20 bill, smiles, and looks down at Billy, who gives him a thumbs up. Cut to exterior Juan's house, later. Juan opens the door to see Glen, holding Billy. A tired-looking Juan opens the door and sees Glen holding Billy. Billy hands over the $20 bill. Glen, it's so late, nighttime.
Did I miss the window? Please, don't kick me out. I've got your money.
Kick you. Juan remembers the conversation from earlier. Oh, Glen, I meant to text you, but Chapter 4 really locked me in. I was wrong. You were right on the money. How do you say it? Miscounted.
Miscounted?
Bedtime now, Glen. Good night, but hey, see you next month. Juan closes the door. Glen stands there silently for a while, then looks at Billy with the $20 bill.
Okay, well, what should we do with it?
Billy thinks for a second.
Double it?
Finn!
In conclusion.
Is there a game we could play though, or no? Let's just wrap it up.
There's a game you can play with my heart.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
You gotta quit it. It's a Backstreet Boys joke.
Oh, is it?
Didn't land.
No.
Okay. Well,
Let's get late. Let's start wrapping this up, please. For God's sake.
so cool. Cool. We wrote another script.
That's the script.
New script from season 3.
Yeah. What did we call it?
$20 short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does everyone feel?
Yeah. Good, the bad, the ugly. I liked it. I think it was actually pretty entertaining. Like even the radio drama, like there's some funny moments in it. Yeah. What'd you guys think?
For a quest story, very dialogue dense. Which
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind. I
Yeah.
like dialogue based jokes.
And we did less like crazy set pieces, more
Yeah.
just like
Riffing.
Just
Yeah.
banter and putting this
Yeah.
guy in the worst pressure cooker. Yeah.
And I think initially we said, oh, we just keep switching out the third person. Now everybody's coming along.
Yeah, it became
Just the group gets larger and larger.
whoa, it's like because he's Dorothy, Glenn,
Oh.
and then Darius is Scarecrow, no brain,
Mm.
and then Tate is a douchebag, so he has no heart. He's the lion. Then
No,
Cowardly.
doesn't the Tin Man have no heart?
Tin Man. Sorry, he's the Tin Man, and then Billy wants courage. Aw,
Aw.
that's
Aw.
cute. I'll take it.
Oh, I feel like Billy would be Toto.
And then
He's basically in a
Yeah,
basket
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time.
And then the officer has courage. I guess that's not Wizard of Oz then.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Officer is Oz.
He's
the,
Oz,
the Great
basically, yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah.
Who's Juan?
Ooh,
Wicked Witch?
Wicked Witch. Then yeah, go find
The
it.
one that gets crushed by the
Sundance.
house
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Sundance.
Sundance. Yeah, Sundance, here we come. I actually really like where we ended. I know, like we were trying to pepper painter through that he's a painter and maybe he'll be an artist. Like the way he gets the money is like through art. But I kind of liked the chores where it ended because it became very like he literally had to do a kid's chores to pay his rent. There's something like very sad but poetic about that.
Well, totally. And one could follow that thread if we really wanted to, like, put some meaning into it. Like, a lot of people say, like we were talking earlier about the kind of jobs that we have, we go for engineering because that's like a real job, but like the kid jobs, like the slacker loser jobs are like the creative ones, you know what I mean? So like he's kind of like in this perpetual regressive state, and in order to like maintain it, he has to do regressive things.
You guys ever watched the movie Inside Llewyn Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like, because it's like, have you seen it?
No.
It's probably one of my favorite Coen brother films. But anyways, it's like about a folk singer, Oscar Isaac. And it's like a loop his life almost, where it feels like he has the shittiest week. And you don't see it over and over, but the way they position the film, it's like it starts in the middle of something and it ends in the middle of something. And it feels like his life is just one long hell week. And that's what this felt like. His day is just one long shitty day as an artist. And then he doubles it up. But then like he says, I'll see you next month. And then it's like, I got to do it again next month for rent. So it's, I don't know, there's something nice loopy about it.
And it is kind of interesting too, just thinking about the idea of a first draft in general. And like, it's been a couple months since we've done this, and it was like a little more, like it's longer than normal and stuff like that. But I kind of like it because we really let the characters kind of talk to each other and tell us who they were. So like once we go into a second draft of this, if that was the process, we'd have like all these character nuances right there on the page, and then we go in and color in all those set pieces. So like, I feel like a lot of times we would try and find the middle ground, but we just really let the characters be. And like, if a riff came, we just went with it. And I really liked that a lot. It was a fun process to undergo.
Yeah, it was cool to work through it and be like, well, Darius should probably say something here, keeping everybody accounted for. And
and their personalities, like we quickly colored in their personalities. Like Darius, right away we know what he was. Tate, we knew right away what kind of kid he was. Like, and then it was easy because like, what would Tate say here? It was very simple. It wasn't like, oh, we need to put a joke here. It's like, no, Darius, whatever he says will just be funny because it's Darius, and Tate, whatever he says will be funny because he's Tate. You know what I mean?
Because you're gonna say "gosh" before.
Bro, I don't know. Yeah, my voice. They're all the same voice. Like they're not even that far apart. Like Darius and Tate sound the same, but I was trying to differentiate into Napoleon Dynamite.
I'll pitch them. I'll pitch them. Yeah. I may or may not cut out the goshes
every time. Yeah, leave it. We usually used to do this. I don't think we did in a while, but like just for Glen's character, maybe if you had to cast this film.
Ooh, an actor who's good at being down on their luck.
Like old school, this was like 2002. I'd say Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh,
like if it was like
even Simon Pegg in that same era, like younger Simon Pegg.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like Shaun of the Dead style.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like who's good at playing like, I don't know, like an everyman loser. But I feel like everybody's really hot now.
Yeah, what's up with everyone getting a glow up?
Who's an everyman loser right now, but he's still really attractive. To new version is Jack Quaid. I see him always in like as an everyman loser. Right. Now. You know Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
I see him.
A lot of those guys getting like super glow ups. The Bandersnatch guy was kind of a weird looking dude, and he's on the bear, and you're like, woof, hell, dude.
Dude, he glowed.
What do you eat? Yeah, and just
he drew in the rest of his eyebrows.
Yeah. He has like the clearest skin, the chiseled jawline. He's like, he went from like loser to like
even Adam Driver, like from Girls to Marriage Story, because he's so hot in Marriage Story. Oh my god!
I mean, that's just because he's like a toxic man. That's why he's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I have my pick, and it's because again, I'm only thinking about righteous gemstones. I would put Tim Baltz. Do you know him? He's an improviser.
I definitely know. Oh, he's from Second City.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, he'd be good
I
too.
think
he's amazing.
He'd be great.
He's in Veep. He's in so many things.
And I think more jobs should go to
him.
Improvisers.
Dude, every time I see a commercial, it's like it's a Second City alumni. I feel.
Yeah,
it's like so good now.
Yeah.
Tim Baltz is a good one. I thought you were gonna say because you said Righteous Gemstones, which I'd watch as well as like Adam Devine.
Oh yeah.
Devine. How do you pronounce his name?
Devine.
I think so.
Adam
Devine.
One of them. But yeah, he could be interesting too because he's like a chuddy little. And when he plays a nice guy, it's funny because he's just automatically funny, so it just adds a little levity.
That could be like if doing his best Jason Bateman kind of thing, you know?
That like, is the perfect a guy exasperated.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Jason Bateman. Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts?
What a blast!
What
Thanks
a
for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for committing. Thanks for doing it.
Sorry it was so long.
No, it wasn't. Nothing to do with you. No. That was not what I was suggesting.
This is the first episode of season 3. So
yeah. But it wasn't that long, really, when you boil it down.
No.
Yeah.
It was, and honestly, it was worth it. I like the dialogue a lot.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's fun
for
reading
sure.
it.
Very funny. Okay, great. Tune in next week.
Yeah, I mean, before this was so unprofessional. Tune in and then I just stopped you. Sorry, but like anything to plug right now? You got anything going on
Oh,
for the 20 listeners?
oh,
Then maybe a month from now too.
No, we're getting better now. Next week it'll be out. This episode, hopefully,
This episode's coming out next week.
in like 10 days.
Ooh, yeah, sure. Follow me online.
What's the handle?
The handle's just the name, Ghazal Ghiami. Come see the Torco show. It's currently called Swipes Right, You Up. And follow it at Is There a Mrs. Beast for
right.
Mrs. Beast's improv shows.
Nice.
Amazing troupe.
Nice.
Awesome. Ghazal, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thanks, Adil.
All right, let's stop being pig now.
Bye.
No Rewrites is produced by Adil Shamsi and Jono Hunter. Edited by Justin Stevenson. Sound designed by Aaron Herastovic. Some additional voices recorded by Katie Trudeau. And the stuff in between segments was recorded by Kevin Brown. If you have an idea for a prompt, email us at norewritespod@gmail.com or DM us at No Rewrites Podcast on Instagram. No Rewrites is an independent show, so please make sure to like and subscribe. And tell your friends. Thanks.